If you watch one of my recent shark pull videos where I went all in for Michinaki, you know that, spoiler alert if you didn't, I didn't get the Michinaki. But we got something even better that I am happy about, and I couldn't wait to build this champion, which is crazy. We got a Sulfurion. So I put him in with a team of randoms in hard because my damage was already done on Nightmare and Brutal. So I said, I need a hard team. Let's throw something together. And I was actually shocked with the champion that I threw in because I don't know. It's something about raw damage dealers now that just seems a lot more appealing than enemy max HP DPS champions. If you can hit the stats, if you have a solid blessing, and that is going to be Xena. Now, before you talk my ear off about how you did not want to pay for Xena, if you did pay for Xena and you do have a blessing for her, she is actually pretty solid in Hydra. She doesn't have like ridiculous multipliers, but my God, she can do some damage. Let's go over a kit really quickly. I'm gonna, show you guys the gear, show you guys the masteries, and then show you guys the run that I did. And shout out to Sulfurion for making it all happen because I tried a few other champs in his place before and the comp did not do what it did this time. But Xena, double hit on the A1, ignores a little bit of defense for each buff. We're not going to let a whole lot of buffs get up in Hydra. You don't really want a lot of buffs to get up anyway. She's going to ignore shields if the target is under 2 or more debuffs. So she's obviously an arena champion, but I had to throw her in Hydra. I had to see if she could do some damage. I was running out of options. I was like, I need a DPS that I can throw in here. The A2 attacks all enemies, obviously still has some ignore defense mechanic in here. Also steals turn meter, but we're not stealing any turn meter from the Hydra boss. On the A3, another AoE. I primarily used her, well, I made the decision to use her because she has 2 AoEs. I want to get as much damage up as possible, and it is a lot easier to build a full auto comp if you have champions that have multiple AoE abilities, especially if like Hex doesn't land, if some of the debuffs doesn't land. You need to be hitting all of the heads so that you don't get consumed. But this one is another AoE. Ignore some defense based on buffs. We're not going to let them get any buffs. Resets the cooldown if she kills 2 or more enemies. We're probably not killing 2 or more enemies in Hydra. The passive increases her attack by 10% each time she uses an active skill. This is why I really like her. I like champions that increase their stats during the fight. So like Harimas, we got Razzlevars. There's a ton of champs that, increase their attack, increase their defense, increase their speed, increase their HP just based on, the longevity of the fight. Those champions tend to be pretty good in Hydra. Also has a 50% chance of randomly changing a weak hit to normal, strong, or critical hit. The chance increases to 100% when attacking enemies under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. So this is why she is so strong in Hydra, just because she's not going to be able to weak hit. You keep those debuffs up, she's not going to be able to weak hit. Active effect fills this champion's turn meter by 100% and places a 50% increased attack buff whenever 8 or more buffs are placed on the enemy team. This is more arena-based active effect, but solid champion. Let's go over the gear. Right now, I have her in a lethal set. She doesn't even have like crazy stats. Actually, they're a little bit crazy. The speed is trash, but she has 7.8k attack, 300 crit damage. A little bit over the top, but it's not like super in game. She's very slow. In Hydra, she's going to get a bit of a boost there. So 201, 7.9, 326. Okay stats. As far as the masteries goes, these are some, pretty much standard arena masteries. I'll move myself over down into Helm Smasher. We got to ignore defense, and down defense tree, standard just nuker masteries. Nothing real special going on. Now, I'll show you guys the team that we used here. It's actually a hard run. I feel like you build some decent champs there, anywhere. Oh my God, this is the clan boss. No, we want the Hydra boss. You build, your champ right though. Oh, I can't even click on it. All right, this is I'm not about to leak everything. Let me just pull up the clip and I'll tell you the champs, right? So we have a Xena, we have a Yuko, we have a Suzerain, we have a Seeker who actually came in really clutch as far as turn meter, boost force, and provoke. So Furion, of course, and we ran our boy Blade Master Rathalos in there because he's pretty solid for Hydra as well. He's not the strongest Hydra champ, but he can do some pretty solid damage for you. So here we are, almost at the turn limit here. I started the manual at this point. I was trying to get as much damage as I could out of the comp, but you know, just over 400 million damage. We are just about at the turn limit, and Xena right there doing almost a mil per hit. We had an 800k hit, we had a 900k hit on the A1. That is her A1 doing that damage. I would say that's pretty solid. Obviously, it's not going to be the same if you push this up to brutal or nightmare, but I'm pretty sure if you have the gear, if you have the blessings, it will be that great. Solid multiplier on her A1. Tell me it's not good. It's honestly decent. Right, so we have Seeker there, provided some turn meter boost, provided increased attack for us, actually pretty huge. Rathalos coming through doing some decent damage for us. Hold on, let me rewind that so we can see Xena's AoE, just how much damage it actually is going to do on this decapitated head here. So Rathalos smacked that head, boom, we get 1.25 mil from Xena. That's some pretty good damage. That's actually not bad. Granted, this is hard Hydra. You know, this isn't the big boy Hydra. We could test her out on Nightmare, but I don't think we're going to get the exact same results. But I'm pleased with this damage on hard. I will be running this team on hard some more. Let's see her other AoE. One more time. Should be coming back around. Or did I rewind it too much? Rathalos with a mil hit there. There's the AoE on the decapitated head. 700k. So nothing crazy, but actually, which head is that? Is that the head of Suffering? Yes, it is. So the head of Suffering, we're not going to do that much damage against anyway. So it's actually not terrible for the head of Suffering. I believe that's the head of Suffering that was there. That one just takes reduced damage. It has the highest survivability stats. So most DPS champions, every DPS champion is actually going to do significantly less damage against that head, but pretty solid damage out of Xena, I must say. I was actually shocked by how much damage she was able to do with her A1. As you can see, we just get true feared across the board there. I used the Shamels in the other comp. I'm actually back using Shamels in comps, which I hadn't done in so long. Suzerain getting feared there, but it's okay. I think that Xena is going to come through for us. We don't have decrease defense or weaken up, but she can, you know, go with her A1, almost get it done there. Seeker, increase attack, increase turn meter, and the provoke, he helps us out there. So I'm honestly really pleased with her performance. We actually went to the turn limit, and this is her total damage, right? So Suzerain 70 mil, he is providing hex for us, so that's why he's getting, you know, that much damage up. He's not actually doing a ton of damage, but he's getting splash damage from hex. That is other champions damage. Rathalos doing 118 mil, Xena doing a whopping 160 million, and everybody else just playing their part. So she actually came through. I would say she helped out. Now, to some people, this isn't a lot, right? This isn't a ton of damage. I've showcased champions doing significantly more damage. I've showcased Toshiro. We've looked at Calamitous. We've looked at some crazy comps on this channel, but I'm happy with it. I am pleased for sure. And maybe this will help someone out. And it's not even about having Xena, because I know not everybody is going to have Xena. Not everybody wanted to spend that, you know, what was it, $20, $40 to get Xena. But if you did, she's actually not bad in Hydra. You could just throw her in, right? So maybe this helps out an early game account. Maybe this helps out a mid game account. Even if you don't have Xena, start looking at your raw damage dealers and see if they can provide you with some damage in your Hydra teams. It does not have to be Taras. I don't have a Taras. It doesn't have to be the super OP mythicals. Look at your raw damage dealers. Look at all the champions that you have blessings for. Go on Hell Hades' website. Check out their multipliers. See if it is worth it for you to put them in rather than using, I don't know, a Husk, a Royal Guard, a Krizia, what have you. Obviously, if you have a Krizia, you want to use her. But with how the raw damage dealers are doing nowadays, man, the enemy max HP champs are just getting, they got super power crept. Like, they got power crept so hard for Hydra. Like, if you look at the records for, you know, DPS champs and Hydra, enemy max HP champs are pretty much at the bottom of the list. Like, they're just not anymore. So if you have any raw damage dealers, not just Xena, do not get stuck on the fact that I'm telling you guys to use Xena. Please go look at all of your raw DPS champions, guys, and just see what they could provide, you know, for you. That's gonna be all for this one though, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me you like the video, tell me you hate the video. I don't really care, but tell me something. And until next time, guys, be good and be well.